Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel, Lady T's Things That Bling, Crafting and Creating with Lupus. Today's video is a requested video for one of my subscribers named Miss Ruth. So Miss Ruth, this is just for you. And today we're going to learn how to take wording off of imaging and adding wording to imaging. So first, in your Cricut design space, what you do is look for your image, of course, and then you upload it to your Cricut design space. I've picked two items here to show Miss Ruth and all of you who are watching so that we can get an idea of how to take the wording off and add wording to an image. Now, my images were purchased through Etsy, so I have the right to use these images as I choose. And right here you see I'm pushing on the shapes button because the lady in the orange headband, I'm going to take her words off. And right there, I'm going to show you that you can choose either the circle or the square. Well, anyway, whichever one you choose. I usually use the square in most cases. That's just because that's what I do. So you take the items and you put them together, join them together, and then at the bottom in the blue panel, I'll show you right here. You can't see that too well. There's a slice button right there where the arrow is. Here we go. In the blue panel, right at the very left, there is the slice button. So once your two items are joined together, you hit the slice button, and now watch. Now you can take the words and move them around. You can delete them. You do whatever you want to do with them. In this instance, we're going to delete them. Now, because I used a square, there's still some wording left. And depending on the shape of where you're trying to get the words off of, you have to, make it work with whatever shape that you want to use. And I'm very familiar with using the round shape and the square shape. Now, the thing with these are you have to make sure that you don't cut into your image. Now, when you select these two images, like I did, you can make sure that you're not selecting any of the image. You just want to select the words. And again, I selected the words, and you see that I was able to take them completely off in two steps. So now you see she has no wording at all. Now I'm going to show you how you can add wording on here. So what you do is you hit the text, the T, you see the third from the bottom, and then you start typing in whatever words you want to type in, and then you make them as big as or as small as you want them and position them wherever you would like for them to be. I just took a generic text just because I'm doing this as a guide. So I'm chosen by God is what I put on here because I do believe that. But you see, I did two separate words. I made two separate entries for the word. Then I chose them together and I'm attaching them. If I didn't do that, they would be moving around by them, separately. I want them to be joined together, so that's why I did that. Now what I did there was I took the image of the woman and the words and I selected them together, and I used the flatten button all the way to the right on the blue panel. That's called the flatten button. Now all of those images are together. They're all together, so wherever you move it, all of them will be together. Now with the flatten option, that means that when you go to print, it's going to be a print then cut. I mean, your your printer will print it out, and then you put it on the Cricut pad to cut it. Okay, this is another version of words, and here you can see I'm taking the square, which I'm so used to using, but then I'm going to show you also the circle. Now that's the square. I changed it into a rectangle, but because of the way the lady's shoulder is, I don't like that. So I'm going to go to the circle since she has an obvious arch right there. And I'll place the circle just below the line of her shirt. That's her white shirt. So I place the image just below that, making sure that I don't get her shoulder or anything. So when I'm satisfied with where I want the image to be, the circle to be, I'm going to join the images together, select them both. I select them both, and then I hit slice again. And then you can see those words are now ready to delete. Well, we still have some words left over here. And my handy dandy rectangle, I should have just did 2 circles, but I'm just showing you that you can do it also with the square option. And I did make it into a rectangle. And I'm going to join the 2 items together. I'm going to slice, and I'm going to delete the words. And there you are. She has no words. And again, you can add whatever wording you want. You can use whatever font you want. It's up to you to be creative in doing this. So I'm just putting something in there just because. That's the word fierce. I'm going to make it smaller. Put it right in her shoulder. You can leave it there. You can put it anywhere you want to. That's the glory of using design space like this, because you can take it and you can do whatever you want to do. Put it wherever you want to put it. And it's your choice. Now I'm just changing the font. I like to play with fonts, but my most favorite font are script fonts. I love script fonts. I realize not everybody likes script fonts, so I'm trying to be more versatile, but I'm just picking a font right here. Now, pick the font, joining them 2 together, and I'm hitting the flatten button again. Now listen. When you hit flatten, your item is automatically going to be cut, print. It says cut and print, but it's going to be print then cut. It's automatically going to be that, regardless of what you do. But there is a way to change it. Now I've inserted another item, and this is a cup. And as you can see, it has wording on the inside of the image. Now, what you want to do with this image is, again, go to shapes. Choose your shape. As you should know by now, I'm going to choose the square and the circle. So, right now, though, we're going to work with the square. You see the shape of the cup. Now, you see me touching that little blue circle, which is the unlock button. And again, when you use these shapes, you have to be precise because you don't want to cut a part of your image that you really need. So, you have to be very precise when you're doing it. So I tried it with the square. Now I'm going to try it with the circle. And I like the circle better after I unlock it because, again, I can change it to what size I want it to be to fit the area that I need it to fit to make the cut. If that makes sense to you. You want to get as much of the space as you can so you don't have to make too many, cuts. You just want to basically make 2 cuts if you can. The square, I would have been making more than 2 cuts. So there you see, I changed the circle into an egg-like image, and it cut 3 pieces. When you do a cut, a slice, it usually does 3 pieces. Now, that square that I had out earlier, I'm going to switch it around, rotate it, had to send the cup to the back because I want to mess with the rectangle shape here. And I'm sorry, but my camera did not have that part in view. So again, I select all of the images, the rectangle and the cup, and I hit slice again. And as you can see, boom. Now you have an empty cup. And that's what you were trying to get to, the empty cup. Now you can add text in the cup if you want. Here I'm going to put care instructions because you all know that I do mugs. So I'm going to put care instructions on there. And again, you can use any font you want to use. You can put the wording, the text anywhere you want it. At the bottom of the cup, at the top of the cup, however you want to do it. And I just chose basic font right here. And I'm going to select both of the items together. And then I'm going to hit flatten. Now when you hit flatten and you go to make the item again, you'll see that border around there. They're called registration marks. That lets you know that you're in print and cut. I have many times gone into print and cut without realizing I didn't want to be there. I wanted just to cut the image. But that lets you know that you are in print and cut. And as you can see, I'm circling over there to the left. It says print cut. Now when you have an item in print and cut, if it has words on it, you must go down there to where you see that it just turned green. You must hit mirror, because if you don't, it's going to print out in the reverse, and then you'll be mad because you wasted ink and you wasted your time. So this is for you, Miss Ruth, and I hope I made how to do this clear. Please comment, like, and share if this was good and you were able to understand it. Thank you everybody for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Lady T. Lady T's Things That Bling. Crafting and creating with Lupus. Have a great, great day.